Light: Connections Assignment by Daniel J. Murcia. So what about light? I'm going to be focusing this presentation from three perspectives: natural history, human history, and collective learning. Why light? So I chose light because it has big impact in our lives. Light comes from the sun, which is a star, and all the elements that are in the universe can come from stars. As part of natural history, light is tangled to the stars, so we can explain how stars are formed. As part of the human history, light has allowed us to discover and learn more about the universe around, and not one but many scientists contributed with information about light throughout many years of research. The study of light evidences the human ability of sharing information. It gave mankind a chance to develop collective learning. The focus natural history, formation of stars. Step 1. Atoms starting to get together. The areas where these atoms were clumped together got denser and denser and hotter due to the gravitational pull of those areas. 2. The temperature in those areas rose up to 3,000 degrees. At this temperature atoms started to fall apart. Then the temperature reached 10 million degrees, and at this temperature elements start fusing. This creates pure energy for matter. Then the energy stabilizes and forms a star. The star keeps on fusing helium and hydrogen for a long time, millions of years depending on the size of the star. When a star start dying, they start burning their own elements. The first element burned is the one on the outer layer, hydrogen. Then helium, carbon, neon, oxygen, silicon, and finally when it gets to iron, it can't burn anything else. Finally, the star collapses under its own weight and sends all those elements in space, creating a supernova. Depending on the size of the star, it can produce a black hole or a neutron star, and then it becomes a nebula. The stars can be born out of nebula, and then the cycle will be closed. The star light gives us information about the star itself. So we can see here that the red the star is going to be like way colder in comparison to a blue star, and we can see that the brightness is also an indicator of the characteristics of the star itself. Focus human history, learning from light. I would say was the first one of the first men on the studying of light was the Chinese philosopher Mo Tse. He was the first on creating the camera obscura. He learned that light beams, when they go through a small hole and the image go to the other side, will be upside down. One of the first principles that opened the room for modern cameras. In Basra, Iraq, Ibn al-Hasan, using a camera obscura at the fountain that Mo Tse did, found that light travels in a straight line. Thanks to the knowledge gathered before, Isaac Newton knew that light travels in a straight line, and then he discovered that white light is a mix of all the colors in the rainbow. He named all those colors a spectrum. In the year 1800, the scientist William Herschel placed thermometers on the blue and red spectrum of the light, trying to figure out what was the color that carried the sun's heat. Applying the scientific method, he also placed one outside the visible spectrum as the control thermometer. He found out that heat light below the red spectrum of the light, and he named it infrared, a kind of light that our eyes cannot see.